Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
That would help. See, mic check 1 2. We on? Man. Mic check 1 2. Are we on? Mic check 1 2. We on? All right, okay, could be good. Mic check 1 2. Are we on? Go here. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 81st episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and welcome. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. My Mac is messing up. Yeah, I'm gonna get on them in a minute, But welcome to the show, So as you guys know, this is the 81st episode of Trippin with Theobold. So as you guys know, well, let me just go ahead and start off with this. My Mac is having issues, and I thought I fixed the issue, but this might, I don't know, like my live stream may get interrupted, and it's not due to internet. It's due to my actual computing device. I took my computer into Apple. They ran some tests on it. My Bluetooth module and the Wi-Fi module, they were showing intermittent failures on the initial test, and then the logic board there might be an issue with the logic board. It's all kind of shit just going on right now, and they did not replace any of the modules because replacing that may not do anything because the issue may be with the logic board, So if the issue's with the logic board, that's like $600 to fix, and without labor, I'm debating on when I'm gonna change or exchange my computer in, or basically do a return and just get what I can get back for what do you call it, like a trade-in value, to see what I can get. But man, I'm not happy with my Mac right now, man. Not happy at all, to pay Mac prices and to have this Mac, messing up within 3 years to where it's like I can't even use my mouse, man. Like this magic mouse shit. Like, here's the thing, right? I'm not impressed. Here's the thing, right? Apple has created a monopoly in the media creation game, right? If you want to create media, if you want to do a podcast and do all that stuff, like going through Apple is the easiest way with respect to the output that or the potential output that Apple can do, right? But the problem is they basically have a stranglehold on you, right? Like you have to bow to their prices, and then when you do, you got to take it in for them to fix it. Like, you just can't go off and go get your own parts and do whatever, you know, because that might violate your warranty, right? So my bad for boring you guys right now. I just have to let you guys know that this live stream messes up. I'm gonna have to restart it again, and it's not due to my internet, it's due to my computer. So anyways, I'm not too happy about that. Not happy about the Magic Mouse 2 design, you know, like the fucking charging port is on the bottom of the mouse, so I can't use it while it's charging. They have a new computer out, you know, a new Mac out. They didn't bother updating or changing the Magic Mouse design. I can use my keyboard. So why is that a big deal? That's a big deal because, you know, when my modules mess up and go out, I can't use my mouse. So right now I'm using a PC mouse for my Mac, you know, so it's, I'm going to try to stay as positive as possible. So it is what it is. And I am looking to make sure I am still streaming because I saw something flash and I just want to make sure it's not my internet. Okay, cool. No, it's not that. But anywho, we're here. So as you guys know, today, this is the 81st episode of Trippin with Theobold. And as you guys know, I'm a Bills fan. So I like to tie my episode in with a Buffalo Bill of present or past. And today's episode is tied to none other than, we got two receivers, right? They're tied to two receivers. Today's episode is tied to none other than Mr. Terrell Owens himself, T.O., or as my dad would say, Terry Owens, Terry. Yeah, my dad couldn't say Terrell. He couldn't say Terrell. It's not Terrell, it's Terrell Owens, you know, one of the best to ever do it. Glad he put on a Buffalo Bills uniform. Yo, man, I actually saw T.O. when he played for the Cowboys. I actually saw T.O. play when he played for the Cowboys against the Bills on that Monday night game. And then I think the season after that, or 2 seasons after that, he was a Buffalo Bill, you know? So, not like with him, it was him and Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Ryan Fitzpatrick would just throw that thing up for grabs and T.O. would go get it, man. So to me, T.O. is like one of the best receivers ever, if not the best, man. Like, I like watching him play. Strong work ethic, you know. People can say what they want to say, but you know, he was a dude, you know what I'm saying? Let me just check my audio again because I got my audio in a different port. Let me just see something. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Just see something right quick. And I'm good. Let me actually change out the port right quick. Okay, boom, we're back. Let me make sure my audio is still good. Okay, we good. But nah, Terrell Owens, one of the best to ever do it for the Buffalo Bills. And then also we got Peerless Price. All right, Peerless Price played during the I believe he was around during the Flutie era. Yeah, he had to be around during the Flutie era because I'm trying to think who was the first quarter. Was it Van Pelt? I'm pretty sure he probably played with Van Pelt. I know he played with Flutie because he was part of the transitional jersey change or whatever. So yeah, 81. We are in the receivers when it comes to the episodes of Trippin with Theobold. So today's episode is tied to number 81, Peerless Price, and Terrell Owens. So let's go and do some tongue twisties. You know, I got to get my mouth warmed up. Pause. You know, I like to untangle the communication between my brain and my tongue, so you know I can talk fluently or speak fluently. So today's episode is going to focus on the letter B. Right, B is the second letter in the alphabet. Today is the 28th. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, so therefore we are looping back to the letter B. So here we go. So read along with me or watch me stumble through. Here we go. Blake the baker bakes black bread. Blake the baker bakes black bread. Blake the baker bakes. I said Blake the baker. Blake the baker bakes black bread. There we go. Got that out. The bottom of the butter bucket is the buttered bucket bottom. bottom of the butter bucket is the buttered bucket bottom. The bottom of the butter bucket is the buttered bucket bottom. Billy's big black and blue blister bled. Billy's big black and blue blister bled. Damn sure didn't get that one out. Billy's big black and blue blister bled. Blair's blue boots are beauties. Blair's blue boots are beauties. Blair's blue boots are beauties. Bob bought a bleached blue beaded blazer. Bob bought a bleached blue beaded blazer. Bob bought a bleached blue bleated blazer. And that concludes the tongue twisties. Yay, we made it through. So that's that. I'll pull that back up when needed. But here's what else we got going on. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some shout outs right quick. I want to give one shout out right quick. Or, you know, I like to do promotion. You know, I like to promote things that I rock with. So here we go. I gotta pull this up again. So today's episode is, I'm gonna plug, if I can get this. There we go. Today, I want to plug the Hidden History Museum, man. This thing is a thing of beauty, man. Shout out to the brother Tariq Nasheed for making this happen. I'm very happy for this museum. I pulled up to it. I went to the an event that he had there on Wednesday night. It was a comedy show event. So I pulled up, had to go check it out. Let me just double check. I don't like how my computer sounds. I want to make sure my audio's not jacked up because I can't go back and redo this. Let me just make sure. I don't like computer sounds. I want to make sure my audio's not jacked up. I can't go back. Okay, I think I'm good. We just gonna ride with it, man. We're not gonna keep double checking. It is what it is, you know. But nah, man. But shout out to Tariq Nasheed for making this museum happen. Man, it's a beautiful museum, man. Like, it's like I went in on the inside and a lot of dope work was put into it. And the one thing I like doing when I go to museums is I like to always look for things that I don't know, right? Like I like to go to museums to learn what I don't know, you know? And there were a lot of exhibits where I was like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who that person is. Let me go ahead and just start soaking up who these people are, you know? They had they had like beautiful busts of, you know, of a Biddy Mason and, you know, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. They had, I mean, it's just, when you see how it's laid out and how everything is just organized, man, it's a thing of beauty, man. Two things, right? The one thing is I didn't realize, so I'm just slow, I guess, but I didn't realize that the Hidden History Museum was, or it was named as an extension of the hidden colors documentaries, you know. So that's dope. I didn't draw the connection between that, but that's dope that he tied in the Hidden Colors documentary with the museum, you know. So that's dope. And when I pulled up, so I took an Uber to the museum, and I took an Uber to the museum, and the Uber driver pulled up and dropped me off in the middle of this like little strip mall. He said, "Is this it?" I was like, I guess so. So I got out, I took a few steps, and there was a tree blocking the mural. But once I walked past, I'm like, nope, I'm here, because I saw Tariq on the joint. I saw all the black icons on the mural, and I'm like, nope, I'm here. So I thought it was kind of funny how I got out and the museum was kind of hidden from my point of view, you know what I'm saying? But the museum is dope, man. So if you guys ever get a chance, go down, check it out. You know, I'm definitely impressed with it. I'm going to be back there many times to learn about, you know, my history. You know, there's a lot of just dope artifacts in there and a lot of great information. So once again, man, shout out to that brother Tariq Nasheed, man, for making this thing happen. You know, see what else we got. So as you guys can see, let me just go ahead and cut to the chase, right? So today's episode is entitled Busted Dreams. And as you guys can see, I'm floating in dreamland right now. You know, this is where dreams were lost. Right, I'm out here floating in dreamland right now. You know what I mean? Let me take a sip of water. My voice is getting a little raspy. There we go. Now, but now we floating out here in dreamland. You know, if you're listening, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now we are talking about busted dreams today. Busted dreams, right? Because I had a lot of dreams as a kid of shit I wanted to do, and I failed a lot. You know, I failed, and today is like a lessons learned edition of like failed dreams. And the motivation behind this episode is, you know, this weekend is the NFL draft. You know, the draft started last night, and I had dreams of making it to the NFL and the NBA, doing all the big shit they put on and they advertise on TV, and I fell hella short, you know? So I said, hey, why not, instead of just talking about the draft and talking about, you know, who got who, let me talk about my experience with just failed dreams and what I've learned. So in case we have other people out there like me that was young or that are young or that are my age and they got big dreams, it's kind of like how to go about, you know, what mistakes to avoid, you know, because I'm putting this out there for you, right? This is called community service. You know, I'm putting this out here for y'all so you can learn from like my mistakes, you know, and hopefully get a couple laughs out of it too. But, you know, I'm just putting out what I wish. I'm basically putting out a video that I wish I would have seen when I was a youngin' to help me better navigate these dreams, right? So let's go and get into it, man. So where we at? Here we go. So yeah, so you guys may or may not know, but I was a walk-on for a year at a D1 program, right? I was in the Big East, and at the time that my team was in the Big East, see who was in our division. We had the University of Miami, or the U. Like, this is like the height of the U's like career or their existence. Who else was there? There was the U. We had Boston College in our division at the time. Rutgers was in our division. West Virginia. Virginia Tech. You know, so we had all those big schools, and this is like in the era of like Michael Vick, Clinton Portis. You know, all those guys were in our division, right? So our team was like the bottom of the barrel. Like we always like finished last in that division. But, you know, I was like, you know, I was going to be the little engine that could, you know, I was going to be the dude that turned the program around. You know, I was on my Rudy shit, you know? I had like, that was one of my dreams, was to play in the NFL, you know? And it was a definite cut when I got cut. Like, it wasn't like, oh, come back and just keep trying. Like, I put everything I had into it. I did, man. I was outside in the cold and the rain running drills. Like, I had I still got my playbook to this day. You know, I got my playbook. Well, I got my scrap playbook because, you know, them coaches didn't give me the real playbook, you know, fuckers, you know, but whatever. I know I sound bitter, but I'm not, you know, it is what it is, you know, but you know, here it is. Here it is. I had a piece of a playbook, and when I went to film study, I knew more than the players. And they had the full playbook, you know what I mean? But now I got cut. Like, I basically got a phone call that said, don't come back, you know, and I was devastated, you know? And then basketball, you know, I had my hoop dream era where I had the Pistol Pete homework basketball tapes, and I had the Hoop Dreams movie that came out. I was watching NBA games, and like, man, I was dedicated, man. I would go outside in the rain in the snow. I'll be outside dribbling the ball in my left hand. And, you know, I basically planned my practice time into my homework. That's how dedicated I was. It was school and then basketball. It was school and then hoop, right? So I went to basketball camps. I, you know, like I did all that. I did all that shit, you know? And I remember when it all came to an end, it kind of came like this was not an abrupt end, like my football dream, right? Like my NBA dream, it was kind of a fade. It was kind of a fade out, right? Like basically I was, basically around that time was the Olympics, and I saw Michael Johnson run the 200 and the 400, and he had the gold, he had on the gold cleats, right? So I was like, ooh, I can do that. And then I just was like, my attention was like, nah, I want to do this instead of hooping, you know? But in high school, I actually made my freshman team and I made my JV team. And then in my junior year, did I play JV? I think I may have played JV for 3. Nah, I think I was only on the team for 2 years because no, I played on 3 teams. I was cause my first head coach was Coach Prevost. No, my first head coach was Coach Prevost. Then it was Coach Ham, and then for JV it was Brad Derby. So okay, so yeah, so now I played 3 years of high school basketball, and then in my senior year, it was weird. It was like I was like really focused on cross country and track because at this point I was doing summer track, and my coach wanted me to my summer coach wanted me to run year round. So I did cross country in the fall, and then I did indoor track in the winter, and then I did outdoor track in the spring and the summer, you know, so I ran year round. And I remember good old Orson Charles. I said Orson Charles. He was a player I played with from freshman and in JV. Real tall, lanky dude, could grab rebounds. You know, he looked like a basketball player. But I remember it was funny, man. I remember I was downstairs, like going by the gym, and I remember him saying, I remember him asking me, "Hey, Dre, are you trying out for varsity this year?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm probably just gonna like run track because like I'm pretty focused on track, and I'm trying to like see if I can get a scholarship or something, you know." And he was like, "Yeah, good, because you probably wouldn't have made the team no way." And I remember thinking to myself, should I just go try out just to be an asshole, right? But at that point, it was like, here's the thing: I'm not afraid of being told no. You know, I made the team like 3 years in a row, like freshman and JV. But varsity, they had like recruits, like they had people coming in from the Bahamas. They had like high recruits that were trying to go to the play ball at like the D1 level, you know, because our school played against all the competitive schools. Like my high school played against like DeMatha, and we played against Field School and Murray, Georgetown Prep. Like we played all those like top-notch parochial schools, you know, and Oak Hill. So all those big schools that a lot of the NBA players went to that play in the NBA now, they like our school played against them. And we had the gym. Like our gym was used for a lot of the bigger like basketball games, you know. Like, you know, Archbishop Carroll came through, all those big schools like played with us or whatever, you know. And but I remember when Orson was like, yo, he was like, yeah, he said, yeah, it's probably a good thing you're not trying out because you wouldn't make it anyway. And a part of me was like, nah, let me go ahead and just show up and try out, and then give it all, like, you know, give it my all so I didn't get punked. But then it was like, if I did make the team and then I quit, like, how would that look? You know what I'm saying? So I remember just being so focused on track and field and, you know, getting the pen relays and doing all that stuff, you know. So that was that. So that was kind of like a faded NBA hoop dream. But when I was in high school, like freshman year, I was really middle school. I was trying to I couldn't make my middle school team. I kept getting cut, you know. So, but I hung in there. I kept fighting, and that dream kind of faded. So it wasn't like the the busted. It wasn't like the NFL dream where it was a hard cut, where it was a definite moment where I was like, yo, I was giving it my all, and they were like, man, they gave me that Magic Johnson. Like they gave me that shit, so fuck them, but whatever. Yeah, it still kind of stings a little bit, man. Like, I remember, like, man, I was giving it my all, but I'm gonna I'll probably do a separate episode on my D1 football experience. I'll probably do an episode on that, but I don't want to focus on that today. I'm just talking about busted dreams that I had, and then what are some lessons that I learned from that, right? So what else? And then track and field, that dream kind of faded, because I remember when I saw Michael Johnson run the 200 and the 400, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna beat him, And when I was in high school, so like a big reason why I ran track was because I was kind of validated, when I went to football, I went to all kind of camps. I went to football camp like 3 years. I went to basketball camps. Like I was always in a camp just trying to get better, So I went to Art Monk football camp. I should probably do an episode on Art Monk football camp. That would be a dope episode. But I went to Art Monk football camp for I think I did it for like 2 or 3 years. And I was, out of 200 campers, I was the second smallest, but I was the fastest. I remember when I wasn't even in high school. I wasn't even in high school yet, and I was already running like 4 or 5 in the 40. Like I was that quick when I was even going, like before I even got to high school. So I remember we had a few coaches that coached us up during the camp were like guys like Ronnie Lott. Who else? I want to say, was Darryl Green there? Darryl Green may have been there. I don't want to misspeak, but I know there was another cornerback that was there. And when I got timed in the 40, they were like, "Oh man, you quick, man. You're not even in high school and you're already running the 4 or 5." Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, long story short, Art Monk like told my parents, or he told my folks, he was like, "Yo, get him in track and field. Like he's just naturally fast. He needs to like learn how to just like really like learn how to like really. You need to basically tap into that," is what he was saying. So Art Monk kind of put that bug in my parents' ear. And then when I saw Michael Johnson run the 200 and the 400, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I was quick, but I wasn't fast, right? Like the 40-yard dash really is a measure of just quickness, really, Like in the 40-yard dash and the 60, I can get out the blocks quick, and I get to my top speed pretty quick. But when you're fast, it's like, when I'm in the 100, that shit it's like, you can just see me, like, I basically burst out quick, and then, like, I can't do it on the screen, but I basically burst out quick, and then like, speed is a very interesting dynamic, right? Speed is, like, if you know anything about acceleration and velocity and top speed and all that, track and field is a very fascinating science, because a lot of people think that when they run that there's another magical gear somewhere, and that's not how speed works. There's no extra magical gear nowhere. When you run, like, your body reaches a top speed. So really it's a multi-dimensional thing, right? It's basically how fast can you get to your top speed, and then how long can you hold on to your top speed, because you get slower over time. But even though you may be moving past people, it may look like you're going fast. It may look like you're going faster, but really everyone else is slowing down, or you haven't reached your top speed yet. Some people reach their top speed like at a rate to where they just like always accelerate through the finish line. There's some people that, I'm not trying to get into the science of speed, but anyways, long story short, I gotta learn how to, be more concise, right? But anyways, like when I ran, basically that was my dream, was to like run in the Olympics. I remember I think I was a junior in high school, and I said all the things I wanted to do. I said, look, I'm going to make the Olympics. And I remember Zubin David. Hey, what's up, Zubin? He was like, man, you're not going to make the Olympics, man. Dude, you're crazy, you know? And I was like, all right, watch me, you know? And I was like one of the fastest, if not the fastest. No, Brandon was the fastest in the school. But I was like, what, second fastest in the school? Maybe, I don't know. But that school was a small sample size of like speed. So I remember, how should I put it? I remember going and running summer track and running with like people that are in like all the other bigger schools. And I found out I was not fast, you know, like if you can run like an 11.1 or 11.2 in 100, that ain't shit, you know? Because I was running against cats that was running like 10.3 and 10.4, you know, at the age of 15. So I basically stuck with it. So basically, because football didn't work out, I gave track a second chance in college, and I was dedicated. I was working. I was doing what I had to do, and I didn't get faster. Plus, when you run in college, you it's not handheld time. Like, they don't go by handheld time in college. They go by FAT, right? Basically, in college, there's a computer that watches when you start and then stops, and then it's more accurate, right? Whereas if you're in high school or whatever, or back in my day, we had handheld, it was like that was inaccurate, right? Or not as accurate as FAT time. So anyways, now that I kind of shared with you some of my failed dreams, let me go ahead and talk about the lessons I learned from them failed dreams. All right, let's talk about the lessons of those failed dreams. Let me see. It's 1 o'clock, right? Okay, cool. Let's talk about some of the lessons I learned. Right, I learned a lot. All right, I hope I learned a lot, you know, because I failed a lot. So let's go ahead and break this down. Right. So the one thing I learned, the one problem I had when it came to like failed dreams or busted dreams is one thing I learned is you have to put yourself in situations where you are doing the thing. Right. Like, I was all in my head. I was trying to visualize success. You know, I was trying to, like, I saw myself, you know, wearing the jersey, wearing the stuff, and just what it looked like on TV. And in my mind, I had an image of what success looked like. And I was trying to match what I saw in my head rather than just doing the fucking thing, you know? So I remember when I was in Buffalo, when I would go up for the summers, when I was in middle school, that's when I really had hoop dreams, man. Like, I would just dream about making it and playing in the NBA all day. You know, like what shoes I was going to wear, like, you know, the uniforms. Like, I was just dreaming, you know, like I would dream to the point to where, you know, it was almost like an obsessive compulsive thing, right? Where before I would go to bed at night, I couldn't go to sleep because I was so excited about, you know, the possibility of what it would look like going to the NBA. You know what I mean? So, so a lot of times, like, so when I was at basketball camp in Buffalo and shit at Canisius College, man, I would be dreaming my ass off, man, at night, man. Just like, that's all I thought about was, okay, like, when I finally become successful, what is it going to look like? How is it going to feel? Like, what's the moment going to be like? What am I like? I was answering all those questions as opposed to just getting my fucking sleep and getting up and going to go play, you know? So, I had my head stuck in the clouds. Like, you know, you guys see right now, my head is stuck in, like, per this. Now I got my head stuck up in the clouds and shit. You know, that's how it was for me when I was younger, you know? So lesson number 1 is get your head out the fucking clouds. 2, which is kind of like the same thing, or it's kind of a derivative, or it's an add-on to this, is just be present, right? Like, I was never really present in what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was never fully present in what I was doing. Let me do this. No, it's too far this way. Let me just do it like this. But no, I was never present. You know, I was always, like, while I was playing the game or playing the sport, my mind was on, when is the successful moment coming? And when it comes, how am I gonna measure up, or am I gonna Am I going to level up? And I was never present. You know, I was always thinking about, you know, the future, right? So I remember I played one basketball game when I was when I didn't make the middle school team. I played rec ball for my county. I was on like the Boys and Girls Club team, and I remember I hit a game winning shot, which felt fucking great. You know, that's one thing I said I did. I hit a game winning shot, like buzzer beater playoff game. We drew up a play. I remember I was supposed to come off of a pick on the elbow, and I was supposed to pass it for someone else to go and shoot it, but no one came up on me to come check me. So I took like 2 dribbles and shot it with like 1 second on the clock, and the shit went in, nothing but net. And I ran down the other end of the court, and my teammates, man, they chased me down, and then they all jumped on me and tackled me. My dad was supposed to have he had the video camera that day. He was supposed to, like, you know, capture it. And I asked him, I was like, yo, Dad, you get it? You get it? He was like, mm-hmm. I was like, nah, this nigga didn't get that shit, because he was too excited, you know? So I remember when I ran back down the court, all I could think about was, yo, this is like a dream, you know? This is where it all starts, you know what I'm saying? Like when Jordan was at North Carolina and he hit that shot, maybe this is my shot that just boosts my confidence to where now I'm leveling up, you know? So I thought from there, it was going to be all easy from there, you know, and things were just going to open up. But nah, that was like, it was a good experience, but it was probably just luck, you know? And then when I played football for Laurel Boys and Girls Club, I remember I think I scored like a 75-yard touchdown one time. It was a reverse, and I was lined up in the formation wrong, and then I got the reverse. I came in motion, came out, then I got the pitch, I got the reverse, and I ran it. I pinched the sideline, and I just dusted everyone down the sideline for 75 yards, and it felt great. But those were like the only 2 moments in sports that like really like stick out for me. You know, like I was, oh man, like I just thought that was it. Like I thought that there was some magical moment where, you know, time stops or time freezes, and then you do something spectacular, and then all of a sudden it's like you're just in this infinite zone to where you're just always just dominating, you know? So end of the day, those 2 times, I succeeded in those 2 times because I was present. All the other times I was never present, you know? So that's a lesson I learned, you know, is to be present. The third thing that I can take away from this or learn from this is you never want to, I don't want to say never, but I used to try to reverse engineer success, you know, and I know I'm going to piss off a lot of LeBron fans, you know. Like I said, I think LeBron's one of the best to ever do it, but he ain't Mike, you know, and that's just me, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying that, and because people can look at numbers and they can look at data all they want. I know they can make an argument for why they think the way they think, or why LeBron supporters support LeBron so much. And I'm not going to argue with them when it comes to numbers. But my thing is, the reason why I'm Team Mike is because of the approach to the game, right? Or the approach to competition. You know what I mean? So when I look at LeBron, in my opinion, he reverse engineers success, where Mike competed in the now. So what do I mean by that, right? So what I mean is LeBron's mindset, based upon what I've seen, and it could be wrong, but this is just my conjecture, right? That's why it's called Trippin with Theobold. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. I think LeBron, okay, see, I'm clipping, damn. But Now, LeBron, here's the thing, right? I think LeBron tries to or reverse engineers success. He takes an approach that's different. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just not my cup of tea, you know? And his approach is, if I play X number of minutes and if I put up X number of points, and if my team puts up X number of points, then we should win, right? And you see that because when you see him like in like a timeout or a huddle, he's looking at the stat sheet. You know, like you should not be, in my opinion, you should never be looking at stat sheets during a fucking game. You know, you just shouldn't. You know, like when it comes to a game, when it comes to competition, the score of the game is always 0-0, right? That's what I got from The Last Dance and Mike. You know, and that's how he played. You know, whenever they got in the huddle, whenever, like, if someone asked what's the score, the answer was always 0-0, no matter how much they were up by or how much they were down by, or if they were tied, the score is always 0-0, right? And the reason why, like, I'm using this as an example of a lesson learned is because that's how I kind of was when I tried out for the football team and when I tried out for the basketball team. I said, you know what? If I watch these Pistol Pete homework basketball videos, and if I come home every day and work on my handles, and if I do this, and if I basically do all this stuff a priori, right, meaning beforehand, when I get into the competition or when I actually compete, these things should just magically happen, you know? And that's not how it works. Like, you have to, I mean, you do have to practice, right, and put the work in, but you should be trying to also put yourself in situations where, you know, you're going to be doing the thing as much as possible, right? So, for example, with the Pistol Pete homework basketball homework things, right? You got this one drill called it's called squeeze the banana, right? So basically with basketball, you want to have strong fingertips, right? So you do the squeeze the banana drill to get strong fingertips. You know what I mean? Oh, my nose itching. Sorry, Mom. I know you don't like me. I know you don't like itching my nose, but my nose itches. Like, I don't know what this problem is, but my nose is itching. All right. I know it looks bad, but I'm not gonna sit up here and let my nose itch and not scratch it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. And there's no book. That's not like whatever. You guys can think what you want to think, but nah, my nose just, when I talk, my nose just starts itching. But anywho, where was I? Yeah, the squeeze the banana drill, right? So that's a good drill to help get your fingertips, like, you know, strengthened. But you're not going to be doing this in the game, you know. Like, that's a drill to help you get better handles of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that, it's kind of like, okay, well, if you just do drills all day with ball handling drills, but you're not in an actual game or in a scrimmage or actually trying to work things out, then what's the point, right? It's kind of like doing stand-up comedy, right? Like, if you, like, in my opinion, if you do stand-up comedy and if all you do is just write in a notebook and you don't get up on stage at all, and you expect to just get up there and kill, then nah, it's a whole different, like, that. The whole act of stand-up comedy is to be on stage telling jokes. You know what I mean? Who's this right here chatting with me? Let me see what this is right quick. See who's talking to me right now. See who's checking in on little old me. Why is my mouse not working? Here we go. See who's checking in on little old me. Carter. Mom. Oh, no. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I don't know what that means. Hey, what's up, Stefan? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Anywho, yeah, I used to try to reverse engineer success. You know, I used to try to reverse engineer success when it came to sports, and you can't do that, right? You got to actually compete in the moment, right? And really, you should be competing against yourself at the end of the day, you know? So that's the third lesson I learned. What else did I learn? Yeah, compete with self, right? Compete with self, right? Like, you should be your own competition, right? The moment you start competing with others, that's when you fail, right? You're always going to fail when you compete against others, You know, like like when it comes to, for example, when it comes to like running a race, right? Like you look at that Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey match race, right? Basically, they tried to turn it into like a boxing thing where it's like one-on-one. And yeah, some people, when it comes to the heat of the moment, they gonna go do that, right? But what if, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, what if Michael Johnson trained to always just like beat himself in that race, and then he had a time where he was running on average a second faster than anybody else who ever ran it? When he got in the race, he should be able just to do his own thing and compete with himself, right? So where I'm going is, when you compete only against others, you're only going to be, you only have the potential to be you only have the potential to be better than them, right? But what if you could be way better than that if you competed against yourself? Like, what if you were just on a whole nother level, like a whole nother like playing field, you know? But that's something I struggle with, you know? It's like, you want to compete against yourself, but at the same time, you also want to address the current competition, you know? So that was something that I kind of like should have probably got more of a handle on, you know? This is gonna sound real weird because it kind of goes against what a lot of people say. But when it comes to dreams, and my lessons learned from failed dreams is, don't look for a mentor, you know, but if one comes along the way, take heed to their advice. But I was always in this whole thing where I was looking to be saved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was looking for somebody that was like a coach or someone that kind of like knew the game or knew something to put me on game. And in life, there's going to be a lot of times where people just don't put you up on game. You got to figure that shit out for yourself. So I should have had the attitude, or adopted the attitude of, no one's coming to save me. I got to get myself out of this, you know? Because my situation was, I was sitting around waiting. Like I wasn't waiting, but I was kind of like, my mindset was, oh, in order to be great, I got to wait until somebody sees something in me to want to teach me what they know to elevate my game. But that day never came, you know what I mean? So I should have been like, you know what? No one's coming to help me. I got to figure this shit out on my own. And then if someone threw me a rope, then yeah, of course I'm gonna use it. You know what I mean? So that was like mistake number like 5 that I made when it came to pursuing my dreams. You know, what else did I learn about failed dreams? The biggest thing I learned, I would say the biggest thing I learned when it came to failed dreams is my motivation, right? My motivation when I was in high school was all wrong, you know? Like a big part of, I'm just keeping it a buck, right? Like a big reason why I was trying to, you know, make it to the NBA, make it to the NFL, or make it big playing a sport or doing something big, was because I knew that the women look at you different when you're succeeding, like on a big scale, you know, in high school, whatever, college. So I was like, yo, I'm trying to be seen by the ladies. You know what I mean? So, so I was doing like a big part of me was like, hey, I'm doing this to, you know, hey, I want to be the best, but also I want to get all the girls, you know what I mean? But, when it comes to your dreams and personal conquest, you got to be chick free, man. You got to keep it chick free. You know, like you can't be like, if you're doing anything to impress a chick, yo, then you bound to fail, right? You should never be doing anything to impress no chick. You know what I mean? You should always just be about your purpose and just like, look, I'm out here trying to conquer because this is what I'm going to do. This is what I was meant to do. You know what I mean? So with that being said, with my motivation being all out of whack, I deserve to fail. I deserve to fall flat on my face every time with that mindset. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, like I said, put y'all on game to kind of tell you where I messed up at, you know, and you guys can either take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is my community service, you know, so you can either take this information or, you know, go and figure it out the hard way, you know. What else, man? I had something else I wanted to say about failed dreams, or about lessons learned from failed dreams. If it comes back to me, I'll go ahead and bring it up again. But yeah, let's see what else we got. So for the DFS portion of the show, I'm going to start something. I'm gonna start like a little trend, right? I'm not gonna go through all my picks. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you how I pick my picks, right? So what I'm gonna show you is I basically have methods to how I pick my players in like fantasy and daily fantasy sports. Right. I have methods. I just don't get in there and just do what I feel. Like I have a systematic approach to how I pick players, right? And every episode I'm gonna try to have a new method that I'm gonna put you all onto, right? So today's method is the mirror method with game count. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So you guys are looking at me crazy. You're looking at me all sideways. What the hell is the mirror method with game count when it comes to daily fantasy sports? Let me go ahead and show y'all. So let me go ahead and pull up my app on my phone. Pull up the Line Star app. Here we go, right? So we're looking at baseball right now. Let me actually pull this up so I can see it on my screen as well. So here we go. I guess I gotta show y'all. There we go. Boom, there we go. There we go. Right. So my method, so mirror method with game count goes like this. The first thing I do is I look at the number of games that are in the slate for the day, and I try to match the number of games in the slate, right? Like I'm comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, right? Like, so for today, in today's slate, there are 8 games in today's slate, right? So today's baseball slate. So there's 8 games in the slate. I've already done the work, but basically the last time there were 8 games in the slate was on April 21st of 2023, right? Look at that there. Boom. Pick them, 8 games, 8 game slate. So the mirror method, basically what I do is I don't look at any data. I just look at who won the tier, and I look at what statistical category did they win, and then I base that pick off of that, right? And to tell y'all right now, I've done this method with actually I did another method with basketball, and I finished top 5, won like $40 last week. But in baseball yesterday, I did the mirror method with game count. No, I did just straight mirror method with no game count. I just looked at the previous day slate, and for a minute I was in 5th place. I was winning like I think I was winning like about $30 off of $1, but I ended up finishing. Long story short, I only won like $3 in that contest, but I won, you know. So let's go ahead and get into this mirror method, right? So let's go ahead and just break this down. So for example, let's start with tier 6, right? So first, and if you're wondering what I'm using this app called Line Star. It's a site that gives you all the analytics for like DraftKings and like FanDuel and stuff like that. So anyways, where am I at? So first thing I look at is I look for the highest score, who scored what, right? So in this particular instance, Ryan McMahon won tier 6 by putting up 20 fantasy points. So I'm looking at all the a priori, I'm looking at all the a priori, I can't even say the word. I'm looking at all the a priori statistical data. What I mean by that is data that was already there before the game was played, right? So for example, I can't look at scored for the next guy because the score is the final result of the competition, right? So I can't look at that. That's a posteriori, data, right? So what I'm looking at is let's say, for example, like sort by value, because they do the value before the game started, right? So, okay, cool. Ryan McMahon, first category, he finished with, he had the highest value. Let's go look at something else, because the value is based upon, the value is based upon the points. The value is basically determined before the game was played. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you look to the right, the final scores are not in order, right? So if if they were in order, then you could say, okay, well, maybe not. Let me not say that. I'm getting confusing, I know. Let's look at another category, right? So value, he was number one. When he was projected to finish fifth or fourth, right? Who's the most consistent? He wasn't number one in consistency. So sort by floor. Nathaniel Lowe, sort by value, right? Sort by ceiling, and then sort by ceiling value, right? So when I'm looking for the player for today in tier 6, I'm looking for similar things, right? I'm looking for a player that that has the best value and is basically placing or is ranking first out of one of the 4, ceiling or floor value categories, right? So today is the 28th. And let's take a look at sort by value, right? So Anthony Rizzo today in tier 6 has the best value. Then let's take a look at floor value, right? So Nathaniel Lowe, Stephen Kwan, Sean Murphy, Anthony Rizzo, right? So whether I like it or not, I got to go Anthony Rizzo based upon what was true for which was true for April 21st. So I'm gonna go to my DraftKings app, and then I got to change that up, and I got to put Mr. Rizzo as my guy. So I'm gonna do one more, and that's all I need to do. You guys can figure out the rest. But let me do one more just to kind of show y'all my method again. So real quick, it's I find the number of games, and I find a date with the games with the same. Try that again. I find a date that has the same number of slated games. So we found that out to be, that was April 21st, 8-game slate. And then I go to the tier I'm interested in, so tier 5. So I'm at tier 5. Now I'm looking at value. Okay, so well, first let's look at who won that tier. That tier was won by Alex Bregman by putting up 12 fantasy points. So he put up 12 fantasy points. Let's take a look at the other stats. So let me look at his value, right? Alex Bregman was 5th in value. He was 3rd in projections. Let's take a look at daily matchup. Daily matchup was Byron Buxton and I don't know how they compute the daily matchup. I need to probably look into that. Batting order, Christian Yelich. Sort, you can't do love. I don't do sort by loved or hated because that changes. Then let's sort by consistency. Alex Bregman. So he won that tier. So I'm gonna go with whoever is the most consistent in tier 5 for April 28th, right? So the most consistent is Christian Yelich. So that's why I picked him. All right. So that's my method, right? Hopefully I can win the pot today. Let me see what the pot is for today. The pot for today is let's see the payout structure for this. So first place gets $300, right? If I can win 300 off of $1, I'm a bad man. If I can do that, and I see the whole thing is you want to level up, right? Like you want to, at the end of the day, you want to play with other people's money. That's my motto, right? You want to play with other people's money, right? So last week was a good week for me. I won $40 in DraftKings. But I'm like half of it is gone because I was trying to level up to play the $5 competition. Because when you play the $5 competitions, you have a shot at winning a couple racks. You know what I mean? Like you have a shot at winning like 10,000. So, you know, that's what I'm about. I'm trying to level up and step up. No, I'm not trying to step up. You know, no. That's some other shit. Like I don't want to step up. But you get the point, right? I want to play with other people's money to build my whole bankroll up, right? So that's the strategy, man. You know, so that's what I'm doing for today. I'm gonna document this method down, and I'm gonna keep track of the dates to see which of my methods are the most successful. Because I have a whole lot of methods, man. Like I have methods that are just for the DraftKings app. I have methods that involve machine learning. I have methods. So I'm the method man. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyways, but yeah, that's it for that part of the show. Like I said, I don't want to make all my picks because I don't want to give away free money, you know. So what else we got here? Before we go any further, like I said before, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. Down below on my socials, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. So follow me. Then what else we got going on, man? I got some comedy shows coming up. I got I'm doing a show. Well, I'll be working out at Huntington Beach tomorrow night at the Amazing Comedy Theater. I'll be at the Amazing Comedy Theater working out some new material. So go online, get your tickets, pull up or whatever, you know. But once again, thanks for joining me on the 81st episode of Trippin' with Theobold. I've been your host. Hope you learned something today. But with all that being said, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.